I feel like these are very hard ones. This one's not easy either. That wasn't like still that completely awful.
This is how Special plays when he's a Zerg player.
Is it? I hope not.
Welcome back to Rank Roulette, powered by Ekster Smart Wallets. Today's guest is an example of absolute peak performance in StarCraft 2. Give it up for Serral. And his opponent, or usually rather lunch meat, it's Harstem.
What are your thoughts on ZVT right now? It's good for Zerg?
Well, it's pretty boring, but it's okay for Serral. Just feels like you're looking for mistakes more than your actual. That's your only game plan.
Alright. Do we see any mistakes yet out of the Terran here or not so much? Pretty much perfect.
Yeah,
Picture perfect.
it's not the best build order yet. Looking at the time, it's already 6 minutes in and we are just getting third CC, a couple of depots there. Massives are not too many of them.
Zerg floating a solid 1300 minerals as well. Maybe lacking in some queens. The creep spread isn't half bad, huh?
Well, I mean, there is like 5 tumors there, yeah, I guess.
I mean, for how much money there is, the creep compared to the money, it doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't have expected as many creep tumors if you're floating this much money.
Yeah, I guess. It runs macroing pretty well. I think it's common for Zerg to have a bit of money, even in decent ranks.
Bailing speed perhaps a bit late. Roach speed also being researched.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of everything. Nice little run by. To be honest, I don't think this is half bad. It's only 9. Well, it was just 9 minutes in the game in that video.
The composition is a bit off though.
You made another queen.
Is it?
Isn't it? I mean, 11 minutes into the game, we're Rosaling Baning.
I could see Dark playing like this.
Okay.
He has even 2 armies on both sides. That's a good move.
That is a high level move. I do like that. The upgrades, I don't know. I feel like nothing happened in the early game, yet the upgrades are very late. I also feel like there should have been Hive or something on the way already. Like, this doesn't feel like a super high level game, but there were some moves that I liked. For example, he also flanked the tank. They came from the right side with links while queens were fighting on the left. Then the army split was kind of nice. There was a run by, which is definitely a higher level move. I also think there must have been multiple hotkeys in play, not just F2ing, which is big.
Yeah, I honestly think that wasn't bad at all. I think that kind of upgrades him lacking a bit, and having 1.5k minerals isn't that bad for Zerg, because he still had 63 drones or whatever, so it's pretty hard to macro with Lingbane only. Obviously made roaches as well, but
yeah,
I think that was reasonable.
Yeah, I like it. Do you have a general idea where you're guessing, or you don't want to reveal anything?
What was this? This was a EU replay, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but I have a pretty good idea what that was.
All right, let's send in our answers then.
1 is the best, right, and 3 is the worst.
1 is the best and 3 is the worst. All right, I send in Masters 3.
Okay, I went for Diamond 1.
Okay. Yeah, I was honestly considering Diamond 1 as well, but then I was thinking about it and I was like, yeah. It felt the movement specifically felt too good. This Zerg player definitely deserves Masters in my mind.
Yeah, I think so too. I might be wrong on this one. Maybe I normally go a bit too low on these ones, but I do feel like it could be, well, like it's around this radius anyways.
Yeah, it should be close. All right, let's spin the wheel, see what we got. Ooh.
A bit weaker than I thought.
Yeah. This might be one of those players, you know, that is kind of good in the macro game, but then once he gets cheesed, gets completely confused. You sometimes see this at the little bit lower levels, that there's these guys that just are really good at one thing, or comparatively good to their MMR, but then theory-wise really are not quite up there. Because this macro and the control felt quite nice.
Yeah, I think it was very good. I'm surprised with that, but well, I guess it makes sense. The Terran build. Well, to be honest, the Terran build array, if you think about it, that was pretty scrappy. I remember 3D pots in the wall at the early game and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
3D pots in the production tab, I mean.
Yeah, it wasn't brilliant. But then again, it could have been just a lower level Terran player, you know? You don't know. It could be like 250 MMR, 300 MMR below. All of a sudden, you're like 1 or 2 leagues down already. Like, stuff moves fast down there.
Do they play? Is it that much of an MMR difference in the lower level games? Don't they play against their own level of players mainly?
I don't know. I haven't been down there in a while. The last time I was Diamond must have been like 2010 or something. So it's been a long time. All right, second game. This video is sponsored by Ekster Wallet. They're sleek and slim looking wallets with easy access to your cards. I've personally been using one of their wallets for a while now, and I'm a fan of their size, how it looks, and the quick popping in and out of the cards in tense moments of my life. Like for example when doing groceries and the old lady behind me is getting angry because I'm too slow at getting out my wallet. If you want your own cool looking wallet, be sure to use the link in the description or use code Harstem at checkout for a bit of a discount.
In case you lose it, so.
That is brilliant.
You don't off-raise any... Oh, what the... Aha! What is this? He thought it was a PVZ maybe.
This is quite interesting. Well, I do off-raise a good bit actually now.
Really? Protoss or Terran?
Both.
And what do you prefer playing?
Well, I'm not sure. This is already weaker for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that. That Stalker is stuck, isn't it? Yeah. Very
is
nice.
it? I don't think.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah.
Mineral field depleted.
First, I thought this could have been a bit of a troll game because I think he Nexus first in the corner, but
yeah.
Now it's. Terran's actually still losing. I guess there was a counterattack or something when that was happening.
Yeah, like 2 zealots maybe. Took out 15 workers. Hey, there's still a lot of money for the Terran though. If the Terran had an... Oh, Terran still wins this, right? Surely.
No.
Yeah,
the Protoss has a full mining base there.
But look at the worker count, it's literally the same. Terran also has 3,400 gas right now.
I don't know.
And a lot of cash. Surely this
I feel
is...
like the pros might have a lot of units in the production already coming. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah. There's 15 other minerals in the bank. I'm afraid that this Terran might stim his units to death though.
Well, it's too late now. I don't think he can even lose, but this is quite hard one already. Because nothing good happened here.
The entire game. Uh-oh.
Interesting.
The North American experience. Okay, well, it's a lot to unpack there. So the Nexus first in the corner. Theoretically not a very perfect game. And also mechanically not a very perfect game. What was the best move that we saw here?
I don't know. I think the Reaper micro. But that wasn't from the pro's perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same. The Reaper, the way it jumped in, it seemed to be at a normal timing as well. But then during that, I bet the Terran was floating a lot. So
yeah,
this is a difficult one, honestly. And it's also NA, which makes it even harder.
I mean, this is. I think this is a bit of a tricky one as well. But well,
you got a decent idea? You just want to send it in?
No, I don't. I'm still thinking what happened in that game. But yeah, that's a pretty low one for sure. There's no way that's high.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But it's not. That wasn't like still that completely awful. He was expanding a lot and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. The toss was actually spending money as well. Don't forget that. Just the...
Yeah, but he might have like 5 Stalkers in one gateway coming.
Yeah, I think there the mechanics were better than the mind was, you know? We had someone with powerful hands, but with a weaker brain, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, I'll send mine in.
I'll go with that.
All right. You want to review what you got?
So I put silver 1.
Okay, I put gold 1. I felt like the mechanics of the toss were too good to be stuck in silver. And also, the hidden base, if that is your standard strategy, I think that legit gets you into gold or maybe even platinum, just because no one scouts at this level. So if that's your main strat, I bet that works really well a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, but I was also watching the Terran gameplay, and then I'm thinking that it can't be gold. So I think silver, it's silver like gold 3. It's not gold 1, that's for sure.
All right, let's spin the wheel and figure out. I don't know. I feel like the proxy nexus is a real play. It must be good. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Silver 2, that's what I thought.
That's actually really sick. Well. All right. Our third game. Oh?
So PvP. Proxy gates.
What? This guy scouted like an AI. Have you ever played against the AI? They always send out two probes to scout around the base for any nearby proxies.
Yeah, I mean, he might. Maybe this is he's playing against AI. Is that against the rules?
I think we specify it has to be ladder games. Yeah, I don't think this is an actual AI.
He has double gates in nice position there.
Yeah.
Good micro on the probe.
You think this opponent might have just been a hacker? Like, what was this scout downstairs?
Yeah, I think it's possible.
It's very odd. Maybe, you know what's also the case? Is that these fellas have played each other a lot already. And the red toss always does the proxy 2 gate. That wouldn't completely surprise me either.
To be honest, I think the reaction was... I guess he saw it instantly. I feel like the reaction was pretty good. It was just a bit too late.
Yeah. Oh, pro pool?
Oh. How's there a Serral there anyways?
Yeah, it's a bit of a wild move. I also feel like continuing to build pylons here is never... Well, maybe it works.
Oh, he went for a sentry?
I'm not a huge fan of that. Also, not microing the adept here is a big deal. Could have built a cannon in his main mineral line as well. Especially once you know that the probes are being pulled. All you need to do is survive, right? No real need for you to try and keep getting units out. Just get 2 cannons in your mineral line and start rebuilding there. Interesting. Adept is out.
Very interesting.
Surely red wins here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well... I feel like these are pretty hard ones. This one's not easy either. But I feel like the reaction was... Well, I guess I was supposed to look at the red pros, but you can't really look too much into a Serral all-in.
Yeah, this was definitely better than last game. It felt... Did it feel worse than the first game we watched? I think so, right?
Well, I think it looked pretty good, to be honest, if you think about the defensive. Well, I can...
Really?
He scouted it so fast, and then he died. But
and
I feel
then
like he had 2 gates there, he went for a core, and he made for a forge.
Like, the only thing that you liked about this game, I think, is the fact that he walled with a hole in it. You shouldn't read too much into that, I think. He also...
Sure.
The hole also was on the wrong side, so... It's supposed to be on the inside for the faster probe transfer, right? So, I don't know. I think just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's GM level, but it was reasonable, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought that the first game was relatively good. I guess Masters 3 there. I think this feels worse than that first game.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Yeah, I would say this is worse than that, but around the same radius at the same time.
Yeah. I'd agree. All right, let's send them in.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, I guess that's all. I went for Masters 3.
Again?
Well, yeah.
I went for Platinum 1.
No way. Look, it's NA as well. The first game was Europe.
No, I I mean, I think it's you. I think you tricked yourself.
No, I think I tricked you. This worked exactly like I thought it would work. We'll see what the answer is, but I'm pretty sure that I tricked you here. I'm the one that will come out. Spin the wheel. We'll see here. In 5 seconds from now.
I might be a bit too low. But at the same time, I don't think that's Master 3.
It's Master 3. Hoppa! There we go. See?
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the perfect NA adjustment that I did here. It felt worse, but it is America, so you just guess the exact same thing. It's a very high-level strategy that I came up with after years of playing this game.
Yeah. No, I'm a bit surprised. Well, yeah.
It was not Platinum 1. I mean, this guy managed to make a wall with 2 gateways. There's no way.
I mean, I feel like anyone... Well, I feel like even a gold one could do that, though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the gold one could even have the hole on the right side of the wall. The thing that still confused me about this game thinking back is the fact that the blue Protoss pulled 2 workers down at the worst timing possible. And also to a spot where cannon rushes wouldn't even be happening. So that entire part makes no sense. It's a weird game. It was a very weird game.
Yeah, but he also ended up losing from that position.
Yeah, which makes it even worse, I think.
Yeah.
Because because he played against this strat before, he probably would have formulated a plan, at least. You know, full wall with like a second gate and a forge and then build a cannon and win the game. But just the entire thing felt a bit off. And then
you went for a Master 3 guess. Oh my.
Well, it's NA. It's the NA factor. On Europe, this would have been Diamond 3, maybe even Platinum 1, is what I would have guessed. You had a perfect European guess there. It's something to be proud of as well. All right, what was our fourth replay?
At least we're back in Europe now.
Yeah. Ooh, fusion core, overlord speed. Look at that. This Zerg is a Serral enjoyer. Watch you play some games against Command Center first. Now can't stop starting with overlord speed.
Oh my.
Could also be Mio Maika opening up with Hydras. Into Mutas. This is how Special plays when he's a Zerg player.
Is it? I hope not. He doesn't even have Steam, does he? I don't think so.
There is combat though, right? Yeah, I see combat.
Lurker, Hydra, Muta.
I don't think there's range on those lurkers though. I don't think they shot once in the entire fight. 7 overseers.
Has 5 bases, but there are 2 bases. Well, I guess yes. Yeah. This is pretty low level, but it's not awful for sure. They're macroing pretty well, but I guess he has so much larva that maybe it's easy.
Yeah. Also no workers. Ooh, Mutaharas at the same time. It's a pretty wild game. Constant battlecruiser production as well. 1900 gas for Zerg. Adaptive talents being researched.
2 mutas and 6 mutas.
Corruptors as well. I just love how many overseers there is. Actually, my favorite part of this entire game is the fact that Zerg prioritized melee upgrades over range, then ended up building only Hydra, Corruptor, Muta.
Yeah. Zerg's actually losing a couple lurkers there and it would be easy win, but he didn't make any.
Yeah, now come the links, and +3 melee as well. Ooh, this is a really tricky one.
Is it? I thought that was pretty easy, to be honest.
Why would this be easier? This is
because
we literally. The theory was pretty bad. The mechanics were okay, but maybe it was just because so many larvae were there. Creep threat was not so great, right?
Well, yeah, but the Terran was denying it for the most of the time, wasn't he?
What about the Terran build order? The Thor battlecruiser Marine without stim.
It was pretty bad, and I mean the first 7 minutes were already pretty bad. Third CC wasn't there anywhere to be seen when it was really late. BC was really late. I don't think, well, we don't know if he made Hellions, but it didn't look like he did. So.
Yeah. So a build order he made up himself. Zerg did play Overlord Speed and had an idea about scouting, though. That's interesting. And then I think the Hydras also were a response to the Battle Cruiser. I think the initial plan was probably to play something else. Usually you get a Spire against BCs, I guess, for Corruptors.
He did get a Spire though.
Yeah,
With two bases.
Yeah.
He's decided to go for the Hydras instead.
Yeah, good call. I like that. High tier. I'm not sure why you're so confident on this one. This one actually confused me way more than any other game that we've watched so far. Because there was, like, some of the moves with the Hydras, like the pulling back and stuff was okay, but then the Lurkers weren't fighting the entire time. There were no extra Lurkers being morphed. The constant need to build more Mutas for whatever reason was there as well. The +2 melee upgrades and not having a single Ling or Baneling out the entire game. Like, there were so many confusing things, and then sometimes pretty okay moves as well, like the low money. I don't know, very confusing for me.
Yeah, but low money when you're playing Hydras there, making mass Hydras, I think it's...
Easy to spend, right? Muta
Yeah.
Hydra? Alright. Do you have it?
Well, yeah, I do. Go with that.
Alright. You can reveal first.
I went with Platinum 3.
I went with Platinum 2.
Yeah, I think that's around Platinum.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was thinking of Gold 1 actually here, but I don't think it's higher, too much higher than that.
Yeah. I think Gold is going to be like the low point cutoff, and this can't be Diamond in my mind. Like, it's really somewhere in Platinum, or very low Diamond, or very high Gold. That's it. Alright, let's spin the wheel, figure out who's right and who's wrong. Maybe we're both wrong, it's also allowed. Ooh!
Gold 2. Interesting. Well, I mean, not really interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of expected, right? Somewhere between Gold and it was a difficult game to call. It's also funny that whenever I think we're wrong, we always guess too low for Europe or too high for Europe. We think the game is high quality, but these guys in Gold in Europe are actually quite good. But when it's NA, it's always reversed. Like, you're like, ooh, you know, this is gonna be Gold, and then it ends up being Masters or something like that.
Is the NA factor that big in this game, actually? I thought it was only like Masters and GM.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure if it's true, but when I watch games, I almost always guess incorrect in that way. It's crazy. Someone should do a statistical analysis of that, and for once and all prove that NA games just look worse. It isn't even about being worse, it's just about looking worse. That's the real thing here.
Yeah.
Alright.
Disappointed. I had a big mistake in the NA one, that's for sure.
Yeah. It is what it is. Alright, let's hear the score, Hamster. What do we have?
The score is actually a very sad story today, because even though Serral won 3 out of 4 rounds, it still ended up being a tie on 13 points.
Nah.
13 points is pretty bad, isn't it?
Well, no. 13 points is good.
Is it?
Yeah.
You are guaranteed top half, and you might even make playoffs if some people slip.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
It's an impressive score.
I thought that was pretty bad, but
Well done.
I guess it's a hard game. It's a hard game.
Yeah. It's a draw. There has been some controversy though surrounding the difficulty of certain rounds. Cats is very keen on calling out whenever someone gets easier rounds than he did, because he believes that the ones that he got were very difficult this time. So Hamster gets messages every now and again telling him that he needs to, increase the difficulty a bit more for the others as well.
Poor cat. But I don't think he can complain about this one. This one was extremely hard.
Yeah, I think so too. Last week we had the Protoss asking for a peace agreement in the start, while our Terran Bill Brasky opened up with a pretty wild CC before gas into 3 racks. Getting harassed a little bit by a 3 Oracle squad, he didn't seem to care too much, as when the Protoss went for a massive defensive A move with a couple of storms, our blue Terran hero manages to win rather easily. All he needed to do at that point was finish it up with a Thor EMP push without the EMPs, as he forgot to use them majority of the time, but got the win in the end. It felt pretty low level, but it's also on North America. The Terran tried to micro, wasn't great at it. The macro was fairly mediocre as well. I'm just not even sure where I want to be at here. Like, is this what silver looks like? No, I think the concepts were too good. I think the only thing that actually makes sense here is that it's gold 2. So yeah, my answer, gold 2. I guessed gold 2 last week, and the people went for platinum 3. So a little bit of a discrepancy. Let's see who's correct. Oh wow, the people are correct. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. What do they say again? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Unless you're using a digital clock, then you're only right once a day. And I feel like the people are more like a digital clock, right once every season or so. And this is the one time you guys have, all right? Congratulations. There are little things I enjoy more in life than a point of view CVT on Europe. And that's exactly what we have here. Look at this. Some tight movement here with the links. Not so tight movement with the drone. That should be that. That is that. Queen was out 2 seconds too late. But that is because it's Tropical Sacrifice. I could have read into that too much. Tropical Sacrifice is very poor mineral mining. So you always have way less money on that map than on any other map. The first few times you played this map, you probably got pretty wild in the head looking at the timer. Oh. Some Baneling run-bys that did nothing. Love to see it. A lot of units for how low the upgrades are. 9 minutes in on 1-1. That is pretty slow when it comes to upgrades. But there is creep spread. The money is relatively low. There is multiple control groups. Oh my god. Look at this. Yes, the composition isn't brilliant. The Terran's control isn't great, but there is control. This feels like this is an actual game. These players, they think about it. Look at the money of the Zerg. Holy crap. It was only at 200 or so at 180 supply while playing Ling Bane. Yes, there were some macro hatches, but that is generally a good move. I'm a big fan of people who build macro hatches when they can't spend their money. Now we have lurkers moving away. This is actual control. I like this a lot. Yes, the upgrades, the other upgrades weren't going during all of that, but this is sick. This is an actual game. This attack wasn't as sick. I'm also not quite sure why there's 15 corruptors here. But we'll ignore that for now. Ooh. Yeah, the actual unit control might not be as good, but I feel like there is control. Like, it's not super high level, but we have the thoughts of it being close to high level. I think. Overseers. Terran is completely stuck. Creep spread still. I haven't really seen any injects in the past 20 seconds or so, though, and it worries me a bit. Surely Zerg wins this, though. There's no way a Terran could come back being down 60 supply while camping on 5 base. Ooh! This is kind of a rough one. It felt good, but at the same time it also felt a little bit bad. It's like one of these games where initially you believe that they might be Grandmaster, but then aren't really. I think I know what it is, though. I have a good feeling. This has to be...
Guess now via the link in the video description. Thanks for watching Rank Roulette. Serral slots into 3rd by winning the worst guess tiebreaker against Hero Marine. Next week's guest shares a 3-digit number with a very, very famous movie character. Can you guess who it is?